Sir. Yeah, we in here. So yeah, man. Like to welcome everybody to the TMI with TMI podcast. That's too much information with Touch Money Inc., man. That's myself and my team will be joining me soon. But first, we got our first interview. But before the interview, let's run the intro song. Where you from, who you know, what you did on the clock. State to state, where you from, city, section, and block. Was you born in the hood or inherit the turf? Did you hold down the street or did you travel the earth? What's your hustle, where you grind, you an entrepreneur? Enemies slid through, but did you even score? They say revenge is a must, but success is a win. If you connected to the source from which it begins, TMI with TMI, I gotta tell your story. Let them know how it go, how it's pain with the glory. Touch money, stay solid till your time to reign. History will always prove what you did in the game. You was friends with that man that they always mention. Sit down, tell your story, take a minute to think. Because it's too much information, talk with Touch Money Inc. We was banging, we was slanging, did dirt, did clean, did spare no individuals hit the road with my team. We was out in the field, we was making them plays. You got bliss from the back, they came with choppers to blaze. You was balling on the court, scoring, giving assists. Catch you on the rebound, you end up on that list. TMI with TMI, I got a story. Let them know how we go, how it's pain with the glory. Do you know? Yeah, y'all. So yeah, man. Like I said, this is TMI with TMI, where we interview artists and predominant figures from the streets, man. So this interview actually came together from me watching one of my idols tell his story, and I seen this brother mention his story, and I told him to pop out and tell his story. So with no further ado, we got Tulsa, Oklahoma's rapper / producer, activist / devil's advocate.
Devil's reject.
Devil's reject, man. Got you.
I'm a devil's reject. I'll never be a devil's advocate.
Devil's reject for sure.
Straight up.
Yeah. Let them know your name, man.
Man, my name is Caution. I go by Caution of 2RS because I used to be in a group called 2RS.
Sure.
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I live in Oklahoma City right now. I do a lot of producing, little rapping. You know what I mean? Lately, I just kind of been chilling though. Taking care of my children. You know what I mean? And just being a man, learning different things like that.
Nice. For sure. So yeah, let's jump into it. So like I said, you already answered my first question. Where you from? Where was you born? Tulsa, Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any siblings? And if so, which order were you in?
You say what, bro?
Do you have any siblings? And if so, which order were you in?
I'm the second to the oldest. On my mama's side, I got 3 brothers, One of them passed away, R.P. Kunta, aka Baby Blue.
Okay.
Um, and then I got two little brothers under me. Then on my pop's side, I got a little brother and three sisters.
Okay, cool, cool. Got you, got you. So, how was life for Caution? How was your young life for Caution, man? You know, growing up, you know, with your siblings and all that, man. Was it a
Daddy, can I
good
say?
life or a
Get
struggle? Go
out.
ahead, do your thing.
Hold on, let me get these kids out here, man.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time.
Okay, how was it? How was my life growing up?
Yeah, your
I,
young
I
life,
pretty much
man.
got,
So
I I had a pretty much typical hood, young brother growing up in the neighborhood life. You know what I mean? It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too good. You know what I mean? We did the fighting over pillows and some days not having no food to eat and stuff like that. But it wasn't all bad. You know what I mean? My mom's did the best she could with the information and knowledge and understanding that she had. And my pops was a firefighter. On my pop's side, it was fun actually as a child. Pops had the go car. He had the basketball goal. He bought us a swimming pool. He liked it to my pops. He just wanted us to have fun and enjoy our childhood. Um, he was cool. You know what I mean? As I got older, me and him had different issues. We started having a little different issues. Same thing with my mom's. But yeah, as a child, man, it was just back in the '90s. It was fun, man. Like we made fun. We made something out of nothing. You know what I mean? It was a different time, a different era.
and what year were you born?
I was born in '82.
Okay, for sure. So 92, 93, you was jumping off the porch young, you seeing a lot of, a lot of stuff at that time, right? I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and 93, around 92, 93. Actually, that's when a lot of my homies. That's actually when a lot of my homeboys, started gang banging. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And actually, I actually remember the last day that because my mom's tried to get us away from that, so she moved to Oklahoma City. But I actually remember my last day in Tulsa with my childhood friends. We was actually walking down the street, and we was trying to decide if we was gonna be from neighborhood or was we gonna be from Hoover. You know what I mean? And that was the last little conversation that they was having
Yeah.
when I moved. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So I
And
came
and we
back,
and we'll
man.
get into that later, but I want to say you actually didn't choose either side, right?
Not really, man. Because I was in a situation to where when I moved to the city, I wasn't around the my childhood homies. So, and I really didn't like the city at that time. So I pretty much it was a good thing because I had to come with my own identity. I had to I had to figure out what I liked and what I was into. You know what I mean? And I eventually got off into rap. You know
And
what I
that's crazy
mean?
because we got similar stories. Because, like I said, I'm from LA, but moved to Northern California. But my thing was, I had already chose the gang banging lifestyle once I moved to Northern Cali. Although I also found the other things, the sports and all of that.
Yeah,
In the music myself. You feel me? But I already had the gang bang lifestyle already in me, being from LA when I moved to Northern Cali. But
yeah,
so
yeah.
so yeah, so like I said, yeah, life, like you said, life was was cool. You so basically both of your parents was hardworking parents, or
I was
because or what you want to say? I mean, because you said your
I
pops
would
was a
say typical.
firefighter.
I would say average.
Okay, average. Yeah, yeah.
Average. Now my
Okay,
pops, he kind of more into. He's a little more of a hard worker though. You know what I mean?
okay.
To this day, he got his own little line service and stuff like that. So yeah, my
And your
mom,
mom
you know what I
was
mean?
just doing what she had to
She's a
do.
go getter. She wasn't no just sit around and wait on it to come to her. You know what I mean? My mom's used to I found out a lot of things about my mom's when I got older. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah, but I do remember my mom selling weed at one point in time, and the house, and my step pops. He was real street dude. So I kind of got to see a lot of things like that, you know.
No doubt, no doubt. And then, all right. So, how was school for you? Your elementary to junior high to high school. And did you finish school?
Yeah, I graduated. Well, let me start with elementary.
Mhm.
I always like I am now, even as a child, man. You know what I mean? Kind of like misunderstood. You know what I mean? But elementary was cool. You know what I mean? I made pretty good grades. I always got the prettiest girl in the school. Stuff like that, and
Even back
you know,
then, dark skinned niggas went always in, man.
man, I won best dress in the school. I won prettiest boy in the school. I used to win the drawing contests, and elementary was pretty cool, man. You know, because you really being yourself, and sometimes as an adult now, I still try to. I realize that being yourself 100%, you will be more successful in everything versus when you let those influences that you had, kind of shape you to where you're responding to trauma and all that kind of shit.
Definitely. So, how was junior high?
Now, junior high, sixth grade was cool, but that's kind of when we started. That's when caution was developing. You know what I mean? You had, Easy E was alive at that time. He was doing this thing with Bone Thugs. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what my little clique,
Because
ruthless
I
gangster
believe it. Because
clique.
like
You
I
know what
said,
I
we around
mean?
the same age, and sixth grade was
Uh,
was it for me as
uh,
well. Because sixth grade I went to Fauché Junior High in L.A. That's in the Rolling Thirties neighborhood, and it was rolling. You feel me? So that's where I really started to develop my street sense. So I definitely feel you on that. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, man, I kind of was depressed in middle school for some reason, especially like seventh grade, eighth grade. Like I hated school. It's like it just was doing something to my soul. It's like even without me not knowing nothing, I knew I was being lied to. You know what I mean? And I really
And,
didn't.
and you think that was from in the home or from the system, the school system, or what do you mean about it? Feel you was being lied to.
I just didn't like the whole. Well, first of all, even as a child, I was heavily influenced by NWA and stuff like that. So I knew, I just knew this white T-shirt school system as a young black man. It wasn't feeding me. It wasn't giving me what I want. And also, you at that time, I had like a spiritual awakening, but I didn't know it was a spiritual awakening. I think it was like, summer '96. I went to Tulsa to visit my cousin, Sean Webb. Shout out to Sean Webb and the whole East Central clique, you know what I mean? Isaac, PJ, all y'all, you know what I mean? But that's my big cousin, and I looked up to him. And we just riding around. I think we was beating Ray Love at first, you know what I mean? And they just, I mean, they played this song back to back like 100 times. Keep your mask on. Doo, 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 doo,
For
doo,
sure,
doo.
for sure.
So then they put in, I think they put in Goody Mob Soul Food.
And it's crazy because I was gonna get to all that. So look, so hold that
Yeah.
thought anyway. So hold that
Okay.
thought. So
Yeah.
boom. Yeah. So but before we skip to the next question, tell me about high school. So was that around high school time or that was
No,
still
that was
junior
that was
high?
that was middle school. Now high
Yeah, middle school.
school, I went to John Marshall.
Okay.
Uh,
And
it's
where's
kind
John
of it's
Marshall at? Is that
That's Oklahoma
OKC or
City.
Tulsa?
I went to John Marshall, then I moved to Tulsa and went to McLean. I
Okay.
didn't look at the time, my immaturity. I just wanted to get back home to Tulsa. I just wanted to get back to the thugging and gunshots and loud music and cars rolling down the street. And I just wanted to get to that environment. But I'm glad I didn't really get to it at that time. You know what I mean? But so So I went. High school was cool for me. John Marshall was cool, but I didn't take advantage of it like I should
Yeah, see,
because I was so busy trying to be a rapper. I didn't take school seriously. I didn't even, I should have took advantage of the pretty
hey,
girls. Uh,
bro, I'm sitting here laughing at you because we have the similar stories, bro. Because real, very similar, bro. Because like you said, but my depression for wanting to be back in LA happened in high school, and I didn't take
yeah,
advantage of it as well. So, but like you were
yeah.
saying, you didn't take advantage of the girls, the whole high school experience. You
Especially
didn't
at
take
John
advantage.
Marshall at that time. Ooh. And like I said, I was a rapper then. I
Mm-hmm.
was serious. I was so serious. Like they had some, young dudes. They call themselves like, this is the East Coast West Coast war. And I'm riding with the West. And I was serious. Like I didn't like them niggas. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, for sure.
it was a lot of bloods at the high school. Even though I wasn't gang banging, you know what I mean. I kind of lean more towards the seaside, and I'm wearing my blue and shit. But my homeboys was bloods.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? To this day. So
Yeah, for sure.
I always got love from everybody.
For
You know
sure.
what I
So,
mean? Then I moved to Tulsa. I moved to Tulsa at the beginning of the 10th grade year, and I went to McLean. And even though I got to be around a lot of my childhood friends and all that, I realized a lot of things changed. I was different and they was different. I come from a click city,
mm-hmm.
and Tulsa just gang banged out. You
Gang
know what
bang,
I mean?
for sure.
And I was a rapper, and a lot of they didn't really cut too. They was rappers too, a few of them, but it wasn't like I was serious with it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
they thrive was to be the hardest banger at the school,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
That kind
So
of
so
yeah.
on to my next question. Did you play sports growing up?
As a kid, all the way up until like seventh grade, that's when I stopped. I played a little football, basketball. I wasn't as good. I was good in the streets, but
For
for
sure,
some reason, I
for
just couldn't
sure,
listen to the coaches
for
like you
sure.
should listen to the coaches so you could really be great. You know what I mean? So I was pretty good at street ball, basketball. I love sports like that. But once I made up my mind, man, that I was going to be a rapper, that's what I really focused on.
Got you, got you. So did your parents and family listen to music in the house?
Yeah, not my pops.
Okay, not your
My
pop.
mom did though heavily. This is back when stereos was out. You know what I mean?
Okay,
You
so
wake up Saturday, she
mhm,
jamming SOS band. You
okay.
know what I mean? And that
All,
music,
all
I still listen to that music to this day. You know what I mean? It really,
it's good
yeah.
for
My
you.
mom
So
was into music heavily.
yeah, so basically, you definitely got a oldies soul when it come to music. Definitely listen to old school music.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
All right,
straight up.
no doubt,
I
no
was
doubt.
thinking about buying a bottle and listening to some tonight because I just zone out. I really be
Right.
having fun enjoying it by myself, with my children, just kicking it like that. A lot of this new music really don't. The substance ain't there, so it don't really give me that feeling. You know what I mean?
Fact. So when did you discover rap hip hop? Like when was the first time you really paid it any attention? Like how old was you? Like like when you was like, okay, this is rap. This is rap music, or it was just always.
Man, to be honest with you, man, I mean, I remember being a kid. Okay, this is when I stayed in the projects and Comanche projects in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I remember like the break dance kind of era.
Wow.
I was a I was a I don't know how I remember because I was a damn I was a baby, but I
Mm-hmm.
remember the Run DMC and
Got you.
that little era, and I always had I always liked it what I was hearing, but I
For
really got turned on the rap when my big brother he had an NWA poster, and Easy E had like the one lens in the glasses
yeah.
and the
It
poster,
it
and he was kind of looking down like that. And I
yeah.
remember looking like, man, this has got to be the coolest
And
motherfucker I
and
ever
see, and
seen
that's
in
what I'm
my
saying,
life.
and that's what brung me back to, like I said, what I told you to hold that thought, because you almost answered all of it because I was gonna ask, did you have an East Coast influence like Rakim, Run DMC, KRS One, and I was gonna ask if you had the West Coast influence and then the down South influence. So basically we got to break it down, and
Yeah.
we gotta we gotta break it down in sections. You feel me? Because even the West Coast is in sections. So let's break it down. All right, it's first let's go with your East Coast influence. You feel me? Like Run DMC, Rakim, all that. Did you listen to them first, like you said in your younger days, or what?
Well, you gotta understand, before it was an East Coast West Coast thing, it was just
Rap. It was
MTV
just hip
Raps
hop.
and
Yeah,
Rap City.
yeah.
Big Daddy Kane was fly. You had the Rakims
Cool
and
Mo
New
D.
York was kind of really doing their thing as far as on the TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I just loved the rap at that time as as a little baby. You know what I mean? But when I got older, um, I gravitated more towards the SIBO gas
Yeah,
chambers, the
exactly. And see, and I
The
was gonna
Spice One,
facts,
uh, the Click,
facts, facts,
E40 and the Click,
for
and
sure.
you know what I mean, all of that.
Sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So, like I said, I definitely heard that influence in the music, and that's why I was gonna break that down because, like me, even being from LA, I'm more influenced by the Northern Cali Bay Area rap when it come to me because that's what I, really grew up on more. Although LA as well with the Snoop, NWA, all of that, too, but. Definitely highly influenced by the Bay Area music, in
Yeah.
Sacramento, with Sibo pretty much being my favorite artist. But in LA, I remember when the gas chamber came out, I went to my brother got the tape from the Sunny Swap Meet, which is in our neighborhood. I remember when SIBO had the posters and all that shit up way back then. The first
My pop stole the SIBO gas chamber tape. Fuck.
so so yeah, so that like I said, and then as far as like you said, you already have the NWA, Snoop, all that, and then like I said, have the Bay Area, and then listening to your music, I heard the influence from one of my favorite artists, the Jacka. So you got influence from the Jacka and like I said, Sibo and all of that as well.
Yeah, it's definitely. I would say Outkast, Goody Mob, Tupac, the Jacker has probably had more. I can name a few others, but
Mm-hmm.
really a lot of influence on me.
For
And
sure.
but Jacka, see, Jacka used to speak on Islam in
For
his
sure.
raps.
For sure.
So
For sure.
at the time, I know we ain't got there yet, but I that was the only rapper that I was hearing doing that. So I really related to it more like
For
as a
sure.
brother, like that's my brother right there.
Facts, facts.
You
So
know?
yeah, man. So yeah, so like I said, oh, and you pretty much touched on the down south too with the Goody Mob, the Outcast. But then it's the thing with the
I mean, it
East.
was a Master P, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and so look, see, look,
I was a no limit soldier too.
you
Don't get it
already
messed up.
take the words out of my mouth because look, because I was gonna break it down to regions because when it comes to South, you have the Atlantas, you have the New Orleans with Master P and then the Cash Money, and then you also have Texas. You feel me with the DJ Screw and and all of that. You feel me? So are you definitely influenced by all of those regions in a different way?
Uh, the S actually in my group, 2RS, Two Ruthless Soldiers. The S actually came from No Limit Soldiers.
Got you,
You know
got you.
what I mean? So yeah, I definitely had some influence by Master P. Once upon a time in the way he was moving.
Yeah, yeah. So when you
Yeah.
say that, what more did you take from Master P? Like his putting out albums, projects, his marketing strategy, or what his business aspect, or even just the music. What you mostly took from Master P?
I kind of took from Master P that big brother attitude he had towards his artists,
For sure,
and actually wanting to put everybody on and see everybody win,
for sure.
and just having a tight circle of dedicated, loyal soldiers. You know what I mean? I kind of really liked that about Master P.
Thanks. Okay, so when did you record your first song, and how old were you?
My first song, man, I was probably about 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 years old. This when you had a radio, you could just push record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it'll record you. And me and my I was trying to get my stepbrothers to rap and stuff way back then. Um, but the sixth grade is when I wrote my first rap.
Okay.
Actually, like wrote it, you know what I mean, and rapped it and recorded it. We used to take two radios. We'd have one playing the instrumental. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we used to go steal a lot of instrumentals and stuff from
Mm-hmm.
stores,
And they
play
used
the
to have
instrumental.
they used to have the singles, used to have the instrumental on the flip side.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
they
yeah. So
take you
so
because
we'll play the instrumental, write our rap, and then record it. And I did that a few times with a few of my friends.
for sure.
And yeah, that's kind of
For
yeah.
sure. But when was the first time you actually got in a studio and recorded a song?
I think I was like 15
15.
when we went. My cousin Scrap, my mom's had told my cousin Scrap was a rapper. And my mom's told him that we was rapping, and he heard it. He was like, okay, and he dug it. So he took us to the studio. And man, I was just turned out ever since then. You know what I mean? It was like $50 an hour. You know, I found a way to get some money, and we would spend like I would spend like 150 like for 3 hours, and
Okay.
that's how we made our first little demo.
Yeah.
At that time, we was kind of like shoot 'em up, kill 'em up, bang bang rappers. I mean, we kill a million people. I haven't even did anything crazy yet, but I was killing everybody in my raps,
Right.
and uh,
Right.
but see, that's why I'm glad when my cousin turned me on the Goody Mob and Outkast. You know, then you had to Pac me against this world. I realized, man, I don't want to be a shoot 'em up, bang bang, kill
Yeah.
'em up rapper. I kind of want some substance in my music,
Sure. For
other
sure.
than just drive by. You know, but that's how we had listened to. That's how we knew at the time. So that's kind of how we was coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, man. So, like you said, you was 15. You know. Oh, and like you said, it was your cousin. You know. So that bring me to this question. So, was it other artists in Tulsa and OKC that was already rapping that you was kind of influenced by, that it was already just doing it, and you was like, okay, they already doing it, or you feel like it wasn't too many people on the scene when you first started
I
out
wasn't influenced by nobody in no in Oklahoma City. I was influenced. 918. It was a group called 918
from
in
Tulsa?
Tulsa. You know, they did a few songs with Be Legit, Sugar
Okay.
T, and
Yeah, they
yeah,
probably
I
was
was
on
influenced
that
by them.
Southwest. Probably was on that Southwest compilation.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe that.
Southwest Rider.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Southwest
yeah.
Riders. Yep,
Yeah.
compilation.
That's
Yeah. So
really actually why I moved to Tulsa. To I was trying to I was trying to sign with them. I had but they had I kept I keep running into labels where the label is going down, and then I come in, and
mhm.
it kind of it just fizzle out. But I was
Right,
trying to sign
right.
with Haunted House Records. I had DJ Terrifying. He came over to my house. I had my little home studio. We talked for about 3 hours, and he was just telling me, how a lot of messed up shit that happened and what was really going on. And I'm like,
Mhm.
dang, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's one reason I really wanted to get back to Tulsa because I liked the rap scene in Tulsa.
For
You know what
sure,
I mean? You had a local rap cast that was really doing their thing in Tulsa, and you still do to this day.
for sure, and that's crazy because that lead me on to the next question I had. So how did you end up dealing with AWOL Records? The big
How I
question.
dealt with AWOL, how did I end up dealing with AWOL
Yeah.
was, um, like I said, I was making my music, I was doing my thing, and I had bought Sibo's album. I think it was the final chapter.
Okay, I remember the final
And
chapter.
I remember T saying AWOL Records was looking for artists.
Uh-huh.
So I think I called them. I tried to make a call. I don't think I got no answer, but I sent. Did I write Freddie T. Smith? I think I wrote Freddie T. Smith, and then T told me to send my music to his wife at the time, Drea, and I sent them our demos, and they
Okay.
checked it out. They was listening to it. Then T called me. He was like, "Nigga, they say your shit sound pretty cool, nigga, but I want to hear you spit." You know what I mean? So I'm on the phone. I bust like two raps for him. You know what I mean? He was like, "Man, that's dope. I'm feeling that. Well, check this out, little homie. Let your niggas know you AWOL now. That's how we finna rock with that.
Real
So I'm
shit.
gonna get y'all. He got us. He let me know. He was riding me for a minute, letting me know that when he gonna get the plane tickets for me to go out there with studio engineers we was gonna be working with, and how we was gonna do it when we got out there on AWOL.
And like you said, man, you always found these labels damn near at the end of uh, their prime.
Yeah,
So
because before that I
yeah,
was trying to I was about to sign with Ruthless Records.
okay. I remember you telling me that, and we're gonna touch on that. But
Yeah.
so was Freddie T locked up or was he out?
Nah, Freddie T was locked up.
Okay, so he was. In prison when he and so did you ever sign with AWOL?
Yeah, I signed the contract.
Okay, so how did that work? You went out to California, or what? What transpired with that situation?
Yeah, we signed the contract. You know what I mean? We went out there, stayed in his mansion in Fairfield, and it just, how can I explain it? It just wasn't clicking. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? We met Pizzo, got to chill with La Rue, Lil Bruce, but every time we would go to the studio to work with the engineers, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like they really didn't want to work with us. They was kind of telling us like, AWOL, the business ain't really too good right now. And they
And
kind of had that attitude like, what the fuck is you little niggas doing out here? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they kind of wasn't really working with us. We went to West Oakland. I think that's where DJ Durrell was, and we was
Uh-huh.
trying to work with. We worked with him. I think we dropped like two songs with DJ Durrell, and maybe like two or three with Studio Tone. But they was all whack songs. You know what I mean? Whack beats. I'm
Uh-huh.
rushing. Just I really wasn't. I
So
wasn't.
basically, you felt like they was just giving y'all anything, and then giving y'all to run around because y'all tease people, that he just brung out there, you
It
know.
was just bad energy. It was bad energy with AWOL at that time. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what we kept hearing. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah,
and even
because I mean, just off the CD that you said the final chapter, from my knowledge, allegedly we hear Sibo even talk about that album that he didn't even want that album to come out, the final chapter or whatever, that T and put that album out or whatever the case may be, but basically, yeah, AWOL was in shambles. So when y'all staying at his mansion and y'all doing all this artistry, money really ain't coming in, right?
no money coming in. No, no, we didn't have no money coming in, man. And we wasn't really. I got a reality check when I went out there. You know what I mean? Because when I was at DJ Darrell's studio, like I said, like I told you, man, all the artists that was coming in was talking about they had to go to work or they just got off work. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking at that time I was only like a fresh 18. You know what I mean? I'm thinking that if you're an artist, you automatically paid and you
Mm-hmm.
got it going on because I'm looking at these dudes' faces on posters and everything, but it really wasn't like that. It
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of business, and I was also writing X-Rated at that time too.
Okay. And
X-Rated, X-Rated is the one that kind of got me. Of course, he didn't do it on purpose, but he kind of contributed to me being on best standing with AWOL and
okay,
T.
and we gonna get to that. So,
Yeah.
like I said, all right, now you own y'all signed. And at the time it's you and your partner, y'all both signed as solo artists,
Yeah.
or as a
Yeah.
deal.
As the group 2RS.
Okay, as 2RS. And let us know what 2RS stands for one more time.
Two ruthless soldiers.
Okay, so boom, so y'all signed as two ruthless soldiers, my bad,
Mhm.
to AWOL. and and like you said, it wasn't the same. So was Sibo, Looney Coleon, Killer Tay, any of these other artists really around at that time?
No, they had just left.
They had just left. So pretty
And
much y'all.
you can still smell the Doty smoke in the air from when they was there, but they wasn't there. They was they like I said, man, they wasn't there. I think Killer Tay had just like destroyed like the
Yeah,
office or something,
yeah,
broke a lot of
yeah,
equipment or
yeah,
some shit
yeah.
like that.
So
Uh,
so from the producers and the engineer standpoint, they like AWOL is already done. What is
yeah,
like you said? What is y'all doing, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
But
good.
I really believe, man, that if we would have stayed and it really would have worked out, we would have resurrected. I know for a fact we would have resurrected that motherfucker.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like Bone did Ruthless Records.
For sure,
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean? We would have really resurrected it.
for
We
sure.
some
So,
rapping ass motherfuckers. Even though I don't really get along with, I don't mess with the dude I used to rap with, but we some rapping ass motherfuckers. Especially at that time, you know what I mean? And still
facts,
to this day.
facts.
It just if we would have had the right producers,
Mm-hmm.
like when I went over Pizzo's house, I walk in, the first thing I see is a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
I walk straight to the keyboard. I'm like, Pizzo, man, come on, man, let's let's make a beat or something.
Facts.
He wasn't motivated, you know what I mean? He like, man, I'm finna roll this up, man. And he chopped it up with us about different stuff as far as what's going on with AWOL. And we watched the Up
Mm-hmm.
and Smoke tour
Mm-hmm.
and just got blowed, you know what I mean? But I really wanted to make a beat with Pizzo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you're young, motivated, ready to do this music. You from Oklahoma. You out in Cali. You out
Yeah,
here with with the guys, man. You out here with one of the dopest
yeah,
street labels at the time. So I
yeah.
can get that you're excited, and I can get with them being unenthused. Like man, this shit
And
ain't.
that energy kind of started rubbing off on me though. Like my creativity started
Mm-hmm.
dwindling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I say, the songs we dropped was whack. You know what I mean? It was just, it was weird, man. It was
So
weird.
how long did you and Marvelous Thug, right? Is that the name of the guy? If you don't mind me saying his name, that was
Yeah,
in the group.
that's,
All right,
that's
yeah.
right.
So how long did you guys actually stay in Cali and with AWOL?
I was on AWOL almost like, it wasn't too long, probably about, let me see, I signed with them like 2000 and 2000.
Okay,
By summer 2001, the contract was voided.
okay,
Yeah.
got you. So after the contract was voided, what y'all said, all right, man.
I
Um,
was in 2002. Was we there about a year? 2001. We probably signed with them in 2001 and 2000. By summer 2002, it was over. I gotta kind of look back, see, because I know I dropped Dark Side,
mhm.
the album that would have been on AWOL. I know I dropped that in at the beginning of '03.
For sure, and we definitely gonna talk about that because that's one of the albums that I listen to, which I listen to quite a few. But so like you said, y'all stayed there, and then or y'all was there for almost a year or two. So
Hmm.
after the contract was voided, which y'all said, all right, man, let's slide back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah. We came back to Oklahoma, and I was. You got to understand, we were still in high school,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I had to finish high school. You know what I mean? It was like my senior year, and I got kicked out of high school because I had some weed on me, and I had to go to a alternative school to graduate, and I eventually did. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so riding home one day, I drove past this pawn shop. Something just told me go in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I go in there, man, and I see a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't know I could produce or nothing at that time. You know what I mean? But
Hey,
I was
but
just
look,
like,
this nigga, you crazy, bro. Because listen, I was just about to ask you. All right, when was the first time you start producing, and what did you first start producing on? So continue, my nigga. Go ahead.
okay, well I had been producing, but I didn't know I was a producer.
Okay, that makes sense.
because every time we go to the studio, I would tell them the beat that I had in my head.
What
I
you
would
want to
make
hear?
it,
What you want to
and
hear?
and sometimes the producers, what they would do was I would play the key,
Mm-hmm.
and they would trick me. They would say,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, that's what you want," and then they'd be like, "Play that again." So I'd be like, "Yeah, man, I want you to do something like this," dun, 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 and they would record it. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
And so I had been producing from from the jump. You know what I mean? And
And that's
so
crazy you say that because my brother Fobone, he a producer, and he always say, "Man, if you could just hum out the beat or say what you want, you could pretty much
yeah,
produce. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can come
I
up with the
used to do
beat.
that. I used to do
You
that.
know,
Then I bought a
real talk.
keyboard, man, and I was making beats. And like I said, I was recording the beat. I would record the beats with a radio, and then I would press the keys and make the beat. And I kept doing it like 6 tracks. And I made some dope beats. And I actually remade all those beats on Dark Side. Those
That's
are Dark Side beats.
okay for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
For
Yeah.
sure. So, last question about AWOL before like you said, the deal ended. But when when you signed to AWOL, you definitely was already aware of Sibo, Killer Tay, and all of them. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you first signed, you pretty much thought that you was gonna meet them and probably do music with those guys, correct?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. For sure. All right. All right. So boom, y'all get back to Oklahoma, and then so y'all had how did 2RS actually was created? Y'all already had created that before y'all went to AWOL, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. So and then after that, how did our empire create? How did that come together?
Well, I just knew I had to come up with my own label.
Okay.
And I was trying to make a label where uh it was really no bosses. I wanted all of my crew to be bosses. So the art empire is really our empire. That's what I was trying to make.
For
But it
sure.
was really I was the one doing all the footwork. You know what I mean? So
Understood. Understood. No, I
yeah,
definitely get that
that's
feeling
how
though.
that came
For sure.
about. I just just came up with my own record label, and I started reading a little bit about the music industry and the business. And like I say, X Rated was the one who put that buzz in my ear.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
yo, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you talking about, nigga. You better learn the business, and you better get up on this publishing and understand your publishing rights and points in the contract and all this. So when he got at me about that, I got at T about it. Like, yo, man, what's up with my publishing? And even though I had already signed the contract, I was still young, and I should have took advantage of the opportunity. I shouldn't have. I don't know if I'm glad I came at him like that, or if I jumped the gun and kind of because I feel like if I wouldn't have did that, we would have stayed on AWOL, eventually put out a few albums. I might have not have made no money, but I would have got a name out. You
No,
know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
'Cause sometimes that's what it's about, man. I
Yeah.
always tell people about the interview when I see Young Thug say he signed. He knew his deal was bad, but he knew all he needed was that platform. You feel me
Yeah.
to get seen, and he knew he was gonna take flight from there. So like you said,
Yeah.
man, all you still needed was AWOL to overcome its hardship at the time. You feel me? And you probably could have did the thing. But like you said, y'all move forward. So what I want to ask you is, all right, boom, y'all started our empire, and then how's the independent game in Tulsa? Once you done learn what you learned from AWOL, now you independent. You know what was the next step? And like I said, what
Man,
was the next
man,
step, and how's the
hey,
independent
at,
game?
at, at this time, I got my CD. I done pressed it up. I done spent, we done spent like so many thousands. We press up the CD, we putting it in certain mom and pop stores in Kansas City and Oklahoma. And we started to go on tour, but we ain't got no good car or nothing. My little car broke down in Texas. You know what I mean? And we was pushing a few CDs out there. And then at this time, the South, as far as Texas independent games, started kind of coming to where they out the trunk with their CDs,
Mhm.
and they like fuck the industry. So that start being my mentality. Like, you know what, man, I'm just supposed to, make my music, press up my CDs, put it in a few mom and pop stores, and just sell it out the trunk. I didn't see the digital game coming at all.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's where I feel
Yeah,
like I really
yeah.
messed up at that time. But I had a white partner who was trying to tell me at that time, like, bro, get your website. You know what I mean? And he wanted to help me build a website
Real
and
talk.
do all that. But I'm like, man, fuck that. Now I'm out the trunk. You know what I mean? We just gonna do it like that. And we kind of did it like that for a minute, and then it got to a point where we did it so much. But then we started hearing people say stuff like, man, my car don't even have no CD player.
Mhm.
You
Shit
know, the
started
MP
changing rapidly,
it
fast.
switched up on us with the MP3s and downloads and the streaming. You
Sure,
know what I mean? So
sure.
yeah, we did it like that for a while.
So before it switched up on y'all, how connected is Tulsa with OKC and Texas when it comes to the independent rap game?
Uh, Tulsa's kind of more Tulsa's kind of like Kansas City. Tulsa's more connected with the West Coast
Understood.
than
And
it
I,
is, and we
yeah.
sitting right here by Texas and Oklahoma City. Tulsa's kind of more on Tulsa's kind of more connected with Kansas City and Colorado and the West Coast,
All the end of, even Seattle,
the
Portland, that
Midwest
whole,
type of
yeah,
thing. It,
that
it's
whole
not
thing. And
really.
that's why I say, because Bay Area music kind of influences that. You feel me? Kind of
Yeah,
influence that realm, that connection. You feel me? And that's why I say like Jacka and all of them, where it really
yeah,
started even before them. But like I said, they kept that going, and a lot of people took on it with the mob music. And then even Ohio and other spots in Indiana and all that, took on that whole persona as well. So
yeah,
so like you said, so Tulsa more connected to the West Coast than they even is with OKC and Texas. Correct?
yeah. Well, at that time, especially, I don't really. It's kind of everything's connected now if you're
No, for
really
sure.
looking at it.
Now, yeah,
You know what I mean? But at that time, no, it was more like because you would have like E40 would come down there, MC8 would come down there. You know what I mean? Rich the Factor would come do shows. Um, you didn't see too much like Little Kiki and I mean Pow Wow. You
facts.
didn't see too much of that, but we do love the South. The sip and serve and all that. Yeah, we fuck with that culture tough. You know what I mean?
Sure,
But
for sure.
Tulsa has always been to me in my world. This is just
No
my
doubt.
world. You know, uh, X-rated, brotherly tongue. Uh, and now, what I mean, I fuck with the Brisk, Young RP, Young Slovy, RP Brisk, uh, Draco the Ruler. You know what I
Facts,
mean? RP Draco the Ruler, Mac Dre. We fucked with Mac Dre real tough.
facts.
Yeah, so it's always been really more leaning towards the West. The
Facts.
people, the
Oh,
niggas I fuck with.
bet. Hold on, give me a second. See,
All right.
come here. So yeah, man. So yeah, man, you got a deep catalog, man. Like I was saying, and the other day I was watching, I believe it was Spice One. He was on there, I believe, Drink Champs, and he was saying he got one of the longest, one of the deepest catalogs on on YouTube. But shit, bro, I was going through your shit, and you got a deep catalog. How many albums you would say you got
I
actually out
not
on
I you know
YouTube?
I got mad one time about 2 years ago. I deleted a lot of shit. I deleted a lot of videos that I had with niggas, all kind of shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I've been doing this for a long time. I actually, before I even seen anybody doing interviews and podcasts and stuff on, on with rappers and stuff, I was actually doing that way back in like 2012, 2013. 2014. 2015. 2016. 2017. 2018. 2019. 2020. 2021. 2022. 2023. 2024. 2025. 2026. 2027. 2028. 2029. 2030. 2031. 2032. 2033. 2034. 2035. 2036. 2037. 2038. 2039. 2040. 2041. 2042. 2043. 2044. 2045. 2046. 2047. 2048. 2049. 2050. 2051. 2052. 2053. 2054. 2055. 2056. 2057. 2058. 2059. 2060. 2061. 2062. 2063. 2064. 2065. 2066. 2067. 2068. 2069. 2070. 2071. 2072. 2073. 2074. 2075. 2076. 2077. 2078. 2079. 2080. 2081. 2082. 2083. 2084. 2085. 2086. 2087. 2088. 2089. 2090. 2091. 2092. 2093. 2094. 2095. 2096. 2097. 2098. 2099. 2000. 2001. 20 oh oh nine maybe. You know what I mean?
A long time
Um,
ago, for sure.
I should have kept going with that. So see, that's my thing, man. I'll I'll do something, but
See it
I
through.
won't see I ain't gonna say I won't see it through. I don't really see the I might say fucking to do something else and look up and somebody done took off with that.
That same idea for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'd be like, damn, you was on that, but you know, you got so many gifts and talents. It's like you're a jack of all trades, but you're a master of none. You need to stick with something and just master it. So that's really where I'm at right now. Like, bro, what should you really put all your energy into, if anything? You know what I
Sure.
mean?
For sure.
So, yeah,
Facts. So yeah, let's jump off into some of the musics, man. Some of the music that I listen to. So first one, like I said, I went all the way back to the beginning. I scrolled all the way the fuck down. You feel me? It
yeah,
took me forever to scroll all the way down to the beginning, my nigga. But I scrolled all the way down and said, all right, let's do this. And
yeah.
so I started with Empty Magazine. So what I want to ask, is that an album or EP?
That's an album. That was actually like a compilation I did in Oklahoma City. I
Okay.
was actually on some I wanted to get all the gang banging homies together from different sets and just let them put an album on some like some peace treaty shit. That's why it's called Empty Magazines, the Peace Treaty. And I just kind of wanted to do a positive album, a little positive gangster album on that, promoting unity. You
So
know what I mean?
how many tracks was actually on that album?
Man, I gotta go get it. I think it was maybe 22.
Because on your YouTube, it was only 3 or 4 tracks on
And
that
that's why I
project.
messed up too. I be just uploading like so many because my mindset used to be I'ma upload so many tracks on YouTube, but I want them to go to the store to buy the whole album. But see, now that I know the digital game, now you don't do that. You
Now you
upload the
all
whole,
all that you
you
need
know
your
what I
whole
mean? You put
catalog.
everything out there. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
So
So I really
yes.
got to go back and I got to take the time out and just upload all the songs that I got on all the albums that I have.
Facts. So on that album, one of the dope songs, Peace Treaty, the song Peace Treaty. What was the
Yeah,
process in making that song?
the peace treaty. Which let me see which one that is.
It's uh I'm trying to
Mm,
it
so stand tall with me.
it was this is for my Crips, for my Bloods,
This is from yeah. The concept on that album, like I said, man, I just wanted to bring some unity. Let my people know that we all got the same struggle. It's real niggas from all backgrounds, all sides, and you know what I mean. I kind of was on some Nipsey shit on the cool. Now that I think about it, you know what I mean. I just was on some yeah. I wanted to see some unity with the
Yeah, no,
homies.
that's it. And it's a dope song, bro. It's hard. And you produced that one?
Yeah, I produced that one.
Oh yeah, that's hard, bro. And then so another one, We Eatin'. That's a hard
I
one on
produced
there
that
too.
one. I
Okay, you
produced that one.
produced that one. And
Yeah.
then somebody on there said something that's on 18th Street. And that line
Hey,
stuck
K
out to
Street.
me,
That's
right?
my nigga right there.
Okay, and the
Huh?
only reason why it stuck out to me is because, like I said, I'm from LA, and most people from LA that claim 18th Street is Mexicans from the Mexican gang 18th Street. But the way he
Yeah.
said it was like a different, a different. So what's the meaning behind that?
No, that's the homie Grinch. You know what I mean? He
Okay,
locked up right now.
free Grinch.
You have to talk to Grinch about
Okay,
that. You
no
know what I
doubt, no
mean?
doubt.
That's
I
that's
just
that's
want to,
his story. That's his background. You know what I mean?
facts. That
Uh,
makes sense for sure, for
yeah,
sure. That just stood out to me on that song. But that We Eating song is dope as fuck as well, man. So,
yeah,
but like I
yeah.
said, it was only caught three tracks on the Empty Magazines album. But I do want to hear the full album on that, man, because it was dope
Okay.
for
I'm gonna
sure.
have to send you. See, I got a lot of. I come from the era where it was.
Facts. No, for sure, for sure.
So
I don't
I
claim
might
that
have
I'm
to
right
send
here
you.
either, but
I
I'm
might
from
have
that
to send you.
I'm from that same era, bro. You feel me? From the CDs. What's crazy is I still got CDs pressed up. I'm ordering some. You feel me? I'm bringing it back. I'm gonna tell all my other artists and shit that I know to still try to use that format, because if they real fans, you feel me? They gonna get the CD whether they open it or not. And then they
Yeah.
still got vinyl. We can get it pressed up on vinyl as well, because the big artists is still selling their music on vinyl as well too. So you go to Target and Walmart, you can buy the Kendrick Lamar's and all of that on vinyl on record. Still to this
Hmm.
day. So
Yeah.
so like I said, that was a dope album. And then the Dark Side album. Who came up with that concept, and what was the meaning behind it?
Man, I came up with everything on that
Everything.
album. Pretty much, yeah. Everything on that album. That was gonna be AWOL's.
Okay.
So can you imagine how that motherfucker would have sounded? You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know what I mean, with a little
with
with
the
that
with the
AWOL
with the
production.
with the DJ Daryl Nim production,
Yeah, yeah,
all the
yeah, yeah.
engineers. Did y'all get to work with
I came up with the
did y'all get
poses
to
for
work
the
with Mike
album.
Mosley? Did you get to work with Mike Mosley?
No, I didn't get to work with Mike Mosley.
Okay,
You know
okay,
what I mean? I didn't get to work with Mike Mosley.
okay, understood.
Um, but the Dark Side album was really called Dark Side, The Devil's Plan.
Okay,
And it was just gonna be me, it was gonna be what it is. Because after that we dropped two sides to every story.
okay,
And Dark Side was just gonna be it's pretty much gutter, street, talking about a lot of things going on out here in the hood. Um, the concept of Devil's Plan, I kind of wanted to be on some conscious gangster rap shit then, but I really didn't have it all here at that time.
sure. All the
But if
knowledge
you,
you wanted to,
yeah, I didn't have it. But if you listen to Generation X, which is the last song, I kind of poured it out
No,
on the
yeah, for
end
sure. So I
on
got
the
Gen
end of that
X.
song.
I got Generation X marked written down, because that was one of the songs that definitely stood out to me as well.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Um, and then, like I said, as far as the gang lifestyle, you said you didn't choose a side, but you had homies as far as the neighborhood and the Hoover
All of my
side.
homeboys, all of my homeboys and family members is from the neighborhood,
Okay.
and I still find myself. I don't even have to know a nigga. And if we become cool, he just be from neighborhood for some reason. It's I don't know what that is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So,
Um,
but and I pointed that out because on that song Gen X, you had somebody, I'm not sure who actually was, if it was you or it was somebody that's featured on Gen X. Is somebody featured on Gen X, or that's just
no,
you?
it's just me. It's just me and a nigga I rapped with.
Okay, and then all right. So which one of y'all said moving with my grooving, moving with my grooving?
Moving with my groove, niggas. Niggas ain't trying to lose, niggas. That was me giving a shout out to my Hoover homeboys,
Okay,
bro.
off top for sure. I just wanted to know for sure. So,
Yeah,
and that's why I was like, all right, because like you said, you got niggas from every side, so you want to
yeah.
keep the line open to where everybody know, hey man, I'm just a real nigga, and
Yeah, but they know that about me, man. Especially when I got on because when Malcolm and Huey P. Newton woke me up, man, I kind of was in them. I be in niggas' faces with that, like, yo, nigga, this is what it is. This is what I'm on, and I kind of started looking at them niggas like they was about this big, with the self hatred and the bullshit that we be on. So they just kind of started looking at me like, man, that nigga Caution crazy. You know what I mean? So they gave me the respect though. They gave me the respect of he doing his own thing and he's serious with it. You know what I
for
mean?
sure. And then another one on there, watch your step. That one hard too. That's
Yeah,
on Dark Side.
I produced that, made that beat.
Yeah.
That's when I found out I really was a producer. We I think when I made Watch Your Step, and I remember playing the keys, and I was like, man, this shit is hard. You know what I mean? Man, I was like, dude, this is hard. I still can remember when I first made that in Generation X. I actually made it at somebody else's studio, and then I had to remake it again.
And
You know what I
speaking of
mean?
production, do you have a producer that you kind of lean towards, or any? Because I don't really hear no specific. Like I said, I know the West Coast influence. I hear it, but your production is still like you just got your own sound, just kind of
No, I
like
got
hey,
my own sound. I used to be told by people all the time, and I used to kind of like where you get offended by it because I like Kanye, but I ain't never been a big fan of Kanye. But I used to have people tell me like, man, you like a Kanye West type nigga, man. The way you just, the way you put your sounds together and the concepts and stuff, man, it's and I used to kind of want to be more like on some gangster. I ain't no fucking Kanye West. I'm gangster. But really, they wasn't saying that you not gangster, bro. They was acknowledging, bro, you very creative.
facts.
I'm sitting up here watching you how you do this, bro.
Yeah,
You're
they were
very
saying you
creative.
hear that your shit is
But
unique.
I'm gonna tell you who sounds, man, whoever is making most of Ralphie the Plug beats
Uh
and
huh.
Draco the Ruler's beats, it's smooth. What's up, baby? You know when they say
No,
that when it come.
yeah, yeah. I hear his plug every time. He
Man,
dope.
that
He dope.
I like that dude shit, man. I like that shit right there, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he dope.
Uh,
Plug
and
is
whoever I fuck with Mac J.
yeah, he
Uh,
hard. He hard.
you know what I mean? Uh, yeah, all that.
Give me a second.
Okay, okay. But I can remember when rap beats really started getting hard to me, man. It was around Tebow Gas Chamber and that Spice One album, Spice One, where he got on the yellow glasses.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Which
once knew
album?
a nigga named Indo Weed used to sell out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
That
that's yeah. I forgot the. Oh, that's it's the self titled Spice One. Cause
yeah, and then
the
and Be
hundred.
Legit
Listen,
trying to
that's
get
the
a buck.
187 proof, man. That was the
Man,
first
them
rap
beats
that
was
I
so
actually,
hard.
you feel me,
Them beats,
memorized.
man,
That's what the
and
always tell
them
people. I
old
even
school
told Spice that
stereo.
myself.
Say what, brother?
That track is what kind of influenced me for sure. So but let's keep going on the music real fast. The Lost
Okay,
Tapes.
yeah,
The Lost Tapes, bro. Did y'all name it the Lost Tapes, or
I
that
named
just
it the
came
Lost
from
Tapes.
music that
I
you just
I I,
had, or
I
how did
named
that
it the
come
Lost
about?
Tapes. I named it the Lost Tapes because it was literally the Lost Tapes for a minute there. Um, we only had two copies of two. I had a CD of our first studio sessions, and the homie had a CD of the studio sessions. And this dude somehow lost his CD, and then he wanted mine. I told him no, so he stole it. And when he stole the CD from me, he lost that CD. And that's the only copies of them songs we had for a long time. But I have remembered, like, I think it was probably like almost. Let me see. We did that in '98.
Damn.
So we dropped Lost Tapes. Yeah, we was kids, man. We dropped Lost Tapes.
That's how
I
old
dropped
that's how old that music is.
on the Lost Tapes. Yeah.
That shit don't sound like it, cuz.
That and then I remember we had an ADAT. The ADAT.
Wow. Y'all
So
had
I
that on ADAT?
Yeah, so I had got the ADAT and I went to the homie studio and I told him, man, can you get these songs off this ADAT? And when he got them off there, this time I pressed up. I'm like, we ain't losing this shit. I pressed up the CD. You know what I mean? And we were selling them CDs. You know what I mean? Those was really like our first two demos. Uh, yeah, I think that's what we sent to T
For sure.
when
And
we got
so
signed with AWOL, and we sent that to Ruthless Records before
okay.
that.
Cause that's dope. So and what stood out to me, who sang on the song Kiss the Girl and the concept
That's
behind Kiss the Girl?
Rochelle. That's Rochelle, and
Okay.
and I came up
Okay.
with that concept. See, my partner, he kind of, real quiet at that time, and he just kind of rapped.
Yeah, he like
You know
he,
what I
he
mean?
like you lead the way. I got you on the other verse
Yeah, but I used to try to get him to get out of that. You know what I
for sure,
mean?
because
Because
that's you in the group. You gotta it gotta be your other partner. Can't be a weak link.
exactly, exactly. But yeah, so we come with the Kiss the Girl, and that's actually how I became consciousness, man. I was kind of looking into like some pimp shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Understood. But yeah, Kiss the
And you
Girl is
can
dope.
kind of hear it on. You can hear it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
in
No,
those
it's
raps.
dope. It's a dope song. She did her shit. You feel me
Yeah.
on there, and
Everybody loved that song, but when we did it, I didn't really care too much for it. I'm like, we just wanted to do a song with a girl singing on it.
yeah,
But everybody at that time, listen, bro, we really didn't know how big we looked
yeah,
to everybody at that time.
for sure.
I'm talking about I pressed up posters, flyers, t-shirts. I took my money and invested in every way I knew possible. But nobody was really coming to me saying, man, you doing a good job. Like, man, I didn't find out till later. It's like people was had that standoff attitude towards me, like
Yeah,
they already thought I was a superstar or something.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? I didn't find out till like years later till people be like, man, like y'all, man, I wanted to sign with y'all. You know what I mean?
Well,
I really wanted to rock with y'all.
well,
But
look,
yeah, everybody loved that song, bro.
that get me to the next song that stood out to me, and then I asked about the concept, but the loneliest man alive.
The loneliest man alive. While I'm singing
Yeah,
lonely.
man, that's
Man, at that
hard.
time, man, we was just doing songs.
And so I didn't hear it at first, but it got the LL Cool J concept in it.
Yeah, yeah. Don, don, don. That's when I would just make beats, bro, and just hop in the booth. And just out like I move real fast when I really get in that zone. And we had a lot of fun at that time. That's he said the loneliest man alive. I'm surprised. And see, the silly me, that's one of them songs I would delete because I'm embarrassed. Like you on there singing, you know what I mean? You
But
on there,
hard,
lonely. But that's what we used to do, man. We used to have fun and just make songs.
and
I
that's
would
when you
make
make
the
some of
beat.
your
Yeah,
best
I would
music.
make the beat. We would get high. I would usually tell them, this the concept. I would usually have my verse done. I'm one of them fast writer dudes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I come with the concept real quick too. And after making the beat, like I'll probably make a beat. I would be making the beat while my partner would still be on like two bars. And when
For
I
sure.
get done, I have a whole rap and a hook ready before he get done with his rap. You know what I mean?
So
So yeah.
another song, Out the Trunk.
Out the trunk, that go like to what I was telling you. Like we was more on some we just gonna press up our CDs and push them out the trunk, and hopefully we can do what Slim Thug did, which we never
Exactly.
did.
So
Maybe we'll make $250,000. You know what I mean? If we probably could have if we really had the understanding of what we was doing. And
fact,
then and everybody didn't kind of split up and kind of like try to do their own thing. If everybody would have just stayed down, you know what I mean? And stop depending on me to just do everything, because I did get to a point where I could only take us so far with, with what I was doing.
facts. So where was another one? I remember the '90s.
I remember the 90s. That's a song that I didn't, like I said, I did that song. I wasn't going to put that song out. That's one of them songs that I got a lot of songs that I like and I just kind of listen to myself, and I be
Yeah,
wondering if I know it's somebody that like it,
for
but
sure.
I probably wouldn't even put that song. I'm surprised you
No,
hearing these
that's
songs.
why I told you, bro. I told you you definitely slept on, because if real artists that know music hear your shit, they gonna know that all right, this nigga dope,
My
regardless.
brother told me that. My brother said, bro, when I let when I let um, like regular Joe blows and regular people hear your shit, they be like, he said, but when I let a rapper nigga hear your shit, bro, they be like, man, this shit is dope. You know what I mean? Because they can hear the creativity and the artist can hear another artist, you know what I mean?
Real
So
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And these songs that you saying, you really got me like, man, I need to go back and listen to my shit.
Hey, go
You know
back
what
and
I
listen,
mean?
bro. Hey, so yeah, so Vet Gang and who all in the Vet Gang?
The what gang?
Vet Gang.
Vet gang. I'm lost.
Well, I mean, you
The
said it.
Empire gang? Is it Empire gang or Vet
Maybe
gang?
okay. Maybe I heard it wrong. So I thought, yeah, I thought I heard something about the vets,
The Vets?
like veterans, like short for veterans,
Oh no,
vets.
that's just something we be saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Okay,
we vet. That's really like my little bro. He be on that a lot.
for sure.
We
Okay,
vet.
I
That,
just heard it,
that,
and it's something that rung to me.
that,
And I
that,
know that to me, it just stood out as like another um way to represent for y'all. You feel me, nigga? We the vets. You feel me, vet gang. You know that's us. You feel me?
we get a lot of that from KC. The Fat Tone. I'm a
Yeah,
vet.
yeah,
I'm a vet.
yeah,
And the
exactly.
Rich
Okay,
the
so and
Factor. You know
that's
what I
pretty much
mean? So
where I got from
yeah,
that. Yep. So
yeah.
the dope album.
Dope.
What was the
Okay.
concept behind naming it the dope album?
Uh, this album right here,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
dope.
Dope.
Is divine original people elevating.
Okay.
Um, I was going to. I ain't gonna lie. I was on that album. I was going to talk about more like the little experience I had, like selling dope and selling weed and kind of make it more like a hustler album.
Hmm.
But I didn't really put it out like that. I didn't do that. I kind of
Yeah,
stayed more on.
because the songs they deep. They might
Yeah,
sound like say for instance we gonna talk turned up. Talk about turned up because it might just
turned
they
up.
might think it's a turned up song, but tell them
Turned
about
up
turned
to the
up.
max, y'all fella. Man, my nigga went hard on there, man. But yeah, dope. I stayed on what I stayed on what people was because a lot of people start like, okay, I like the fact that you be on your pro black, positive shit, man. And some people didn't like it. Like my big brother, he really didn't. He had to. He learned to respect it, but he kind of was like on some man, get on
He
some gangster shit, like you
he
know what I
he
mean.
better
Get
go.
on.
He gotta go back and listen to Last Days.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Last days, yeah, all that, man. My music was like I say, man. I I didn't want to be accepted by the industry. Actually, I got a call from New York when they heard Dark Side, and they told me it was some major record label. I can't remember who they was. And they told me, they said, look here, man, we like your music. We want to sign you. But we need to work on your image. And I was like, work on my image. And the way I said it, she was like, hold up, Negro. Don't you realize this is a multi-million dollar business? And whoop 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 whoop. When she started talking like that, I'm still young and dumb. I'm kind of offended though. Like, work on my image. Like, I don't want to sound like the Yin Yang Twins and look like the Yin Yang Twins.
And that's crazy because so with that being said, tell us about looking for dope.
Looking for that dope. If you're looking for that dope, I was just talking about myself.
Okay, for sure,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
You got to understand, dope. We was heavily influenced by hustler. You know what I mean? And the Jack
Hmm.
and the
Hmm.
mob figures. And, we liked the fact that they focused more on being dope than
And,
being anything. You know what I mean? It was just, nigga, are you dope? Is your kicks dope? Do you got a
and that's
fresh fit? You know what I
facts.
mean? Is your rhymes dope? You know what I mean? Nigga, are you
Facts.
dope?
So is
So,
that
yeah,
kind of influence on this track from stars to bars?
from stars to bars, from
It has.
stars. bars.
It gotta influence. You could tell. I think you might have said something about it. That's why I wrote it down like that. And what's crazy is I wrote Tupac and Jacka influence on from stars to bars. You
Yeah,
know.
that's pretty much damn near everything. You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of I had to get out of almost like idol worship
Mm-hmm.
because my love for rap and rappers that I gravitate towards is deep, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I be wanting to continue their legacy. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
fact.
if the industry killed them for whatever reason, then I'm gonna show the industry, no, y'all didn't kill that spirit. You know
Fact
what I mean?
for sure.
So, but yeah, bars from bars to stars. Nah, that's just us. That's just me rapping
For
again. I
sure.
don't really remember me, trying to
Fact. And I want to talk about some of your videos, but before I do, I want to talk about I didn't write down all the names of the songs, and then I know it was more some because I need to listen to more of them. But the Banging on Wax album.
again. That was it was empty magazines before empty magazines.
Okay. Okay.
We stole I took the concept from banging on tracks.
Okay.
I mean, banging on wax.
Yeah. Banging on Wax. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Crip and Blood album.
Yeah.
Except I just wanted to give my homeboys, and
They.
we do that album. And again, it's on unity. It's based on unity and
Mhm.
gangsters working together. You know what I mean? Like I was really heavy on that. Like that was really like my image. Like you know what I mean?
So
Black unity. You know what I mean? And I wasn't faking it. It wasn't nothing that I was just fake with. I was really serious about it because at that time, I was really thinking that music could like help us as a community and save us. You know what I mean?
for
Now,
sure.
now I'm just kind of like music is how you interpret it.
How
However
you
you listen to it. But at
like
that time, you know what I mean. It was like a life or death type thing to where I really wanted to put out positive music with a message to try to influence somebody, like I was influenced to be a man. You know what I mean?
facts. So look, I want to talk about some of your videos that I watched, and that go along with what you was just talking about. 10 Toes Down. Tell us about 10 Toes Down.
10 Toes Down. That's one of my last little videos I did. Um, I just wanted to do a video to my last album I put out, Caution to the Wind. It really kind of was an older video. I didn't get to put it out. It's kind of came out almost like a year and a half time because the first person that did the video, it was a weak edit. You know what I mean? And so I tried to do it myself, but I didn't really like what I was doing. Finally, I linked in with the homie. What's it? Shimo, something like that is his name. And I asked him how much would he charge me to, you know, do my video. He did it. I did it in my house. Um, 10 Toes Down is just me being me. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Let motherfuckers know that I'm 10 toes in the game. I never sell out. I'm not fake, not perfect. I got my flaws, but I'm not no. I'm not fit to be no cornball to be accepted by no group or you know. If you like it, if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you don't, you don't. But I am gonna be who I am no matter what.
Gotcha. So Black Love Gang.
Black Love Gang. You like that one?
Yeah, I like that one for sure. For sure.
I had that on Thizzler. A lot of people liked it that one. I was shocked in the comments I got on when I put it on Thizzler. Everybody was like, "Damn, nigga, finally something new." You know
Something
what I
different.
mean? And and
Sure.
and, and uh, Black Love Gang, same thing. Like you know what I mean? A lot of my shit is motivated by me. Um, just want to see black people in a better mental state.
Mhm.
And I wanted to just show that nigga it's some niggas out here that's for the cause and not really interested in banging on us, but banging for us. You know
Sure.
what I mean? And
Sure.
and what it is, I'm trying to. I wish I can get niggas to stop. Uh, to stand up on that and stand on that because it's like we take pride in being hard and everything when it's destructive, but nigga, why we not being hard for us? Why we don't have the respect for us? Because if we had it, everybody else in the world would respect us because they secretly jealous of us and they know we got it in us, but they take advantage of the fact that we have that self hatred towards
Facts.
our own selves. So I just put that Black Love Gang out to kind of speak on that.
And you did it, bro. All right, so pray for the North Side.
Pray for the North Side. I just wanted to, I just was rapping about what I see on the North Side of North Tulsa. It wasn't too deep. I mentioned my brother, the homie Folk Threezy, R.I.P. And just a lot of the crazy shit. Some of the things I have to deal with being the individual I am uh, on the North Side. It was kind of like me throwing my middle finger up to motherfuckers too. Like, I, you know, I am who I am. You can, like
Gotcha.
I say, man, you can like it or love it, or you can hate it. It don't really matter to me. You know what I mean?
And like I said, man, I definitely had already heard the influence from some of my favorite rappers, listening to your music, you feel me, and made me become a fan. And then seeing this video, and I was just watching the video, and you happen to have photos of some of our, late great, you feel me,
Yeah,
dope artists, Jacka,
yeah,
Nipsey,
yeah,
Pimp C, and keep living. Tell us
yeah.
about keep
Keep
living.
living. Keep living was just that was me telling myself to keep going. You know what I mean? You go through a lot. I was going through a little bit at that time. You know what I mean? But I have to. I like motivate myself. If I don't get no motivation from anybody else, I'm gonna motivate myself. And sometimes I'll get tattoos or make a song or something to remind myself to keep my head up. You know what I mean? To stay in the fight. Don't let nothing get to you. You know what I mean? You just keep living, bro. You know what I mean? Don't because a lot of shit out here is really made for us to fail. So yeah, a lot of my songs is really just motivational songs.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, bro. So we getting close to the end. It was definitely a dope interview, but at the end, I do this. I want to ask 10 last questions, a one
Okay,
liners, and you can answer them as fast, long, as easy,
okay,
controversial as you want. You feel me?
okay.
And so let's start with number one. 2RS.
hmm
Give me an answer. Whatever. What do you first thing come to your mind for 2RS?
Uh, potentially, potentially one of the dopest groups to come out of Oklahoma. Bro, the dude I used to rap with, he from the city. I'm from Tulsa. I connected it, and we really had a lot of potential, but we had a lot of internal issues as friends that I just couldn't overlook no more, man. I just got tired of it.
And it's
And
crazy because I had him as the last question, but I'm gonna have him number two, Marvelous Thug.
I gave him that name, Marvelous Thug. I really don't want to speak too much on it because I don't have too much positive things to say about him. I'm kind of upset with bro about a lot of little sneaky shit he be doing. But yeah, that was my best friend at one point in time. You know what I mean? We did a lot of rap shit together. I really tried to put a song. He eventually got better at his craft. I used to you know point him in a lot of directions to help him become a better rapper and just a better man, a better person all the way around. And he's still doing his thing. Uh, I'm still doing my thing, but right now I just don't. You know, it,
Got
it, it, was it was a toxic situation for me. You know what I
you.
mean?
Got you. All right, so number three, 57, 57th Street.
5'7". You know what I mean? That's the street I grew up on in North Tulsa. 5'7" and 4'6". Um, yeah, man. That's just if I was to rep any street, you know what I mean, which I'm really bigger than the street, but those would be my streets that I represent. You know what I mean, 4'6" and 5'7". My pop stayed on 4'6". My mom stayed on 5'7", and we actually moved when I got to be a little older. So yeah,
Shout out my shout out my niggas from 4-6 out there. You already know
yeah,
what it
yeah. That's a lot of my partners.
is. Real shit. They
Uh,
already know what's up. So yeah, I mean, North Side Tulsa.
North Tulsa, Black Wall Street. Um,
This
it's
nigga.
it's a special place. A lot of thoroughbreds. You know what I mean? We a different, unique type of a group of people. I love it, man. But the only thing I really don't like is like I say, the bullshit that we be on. Um, with the it's it's a little hating, a little jealousy. Same thing in every hood. But North Tulsa, man, it was real fun back in the day, man. Like the way we used to have fun and kick it, man, it was something, man. But yeah, man, that's what I'm always represent. No
That,
matter where I move at, no matter where I stay, I always represent North Tulsa to
and it's
anybody.
crazy because
You know what I mean?
you just mentioned my next question. Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, man, well, shit. Um,
You can go deep or short.
it used to be called Little Africa. You know, it was just a place where a lot of black people with money came, built up the community. We had a lot going on. Uh, Real prosperous, a lot of pimpish fly dope black people in their right mind pulled their resources together and did what they were supposed to do, did what they say we should do as black people. But the minute we did it, you know what I mean, they sabotaged us, dropped bombs on us, shot and killed hundreds, thousands of us, you know what I mean? And till this day, North Tulsa is still highly oppressed by white t-shirt people, and they want to make sure that community, they want to make sure my community never rises to be what it was again.
Facts. So question 6, Oklahoma, the state as a whole.
Oklahoma is as a whole kind of a little bit on the I've heard outsiders say it's kind of stale, you know what I mean, especially in the city. But Oklahoma City, we just won the championship. So
Facts.
I know little things might change, but Oklahoma is a cool place if you want to like just you. It's what you make it. You know what I mean. You can stay out the way, just get your money. I heard the rent is cheaper than a lot of places. Uh, it, uh, we're not dealing with a lot of stuff like Texas. With as far as what I'm hearing, Texas got a lot of like, you know, STDs and stuff going on. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like from what I hear, Oklahoma, we got a little bit of that, but it's not too bad. Like Oklahoma is kind of really just a chill state. It kind of Kansas and Oklahoma still got that same feel to it. You know what I mean? Just a Midwest uh,
For
place.
sure. So AWOL.
Man, one of the dopest gangster rap labels to ever exist. Um, a dynasty that didn't never really reach its full potential, but it was getting there. I think everybody still got love for each other. I think everybody still got love for T. A lot of the, just growing up, everybody's pretty much grown up, and that's just something we dealt with in the past. But is definitely a respected record label. It's something that I wish that we can do like a reunion or something. But like I say, man, I didn't do too much on AWOL. I came in late, you know what I mean, and was trying to, make my mark, but I really didn't get to. But as far as like, Marvelous, Tebow, Killer Tay, 151, um, the whole, Doja Click, KJ, all of them, I think they should do a reunion album, something like that.
Facts. Facts. All right. So Question number 8. We got two left. So after, or this number 7. Islam.
Islam Islam for me just helps me stay in touch with my humanity instead of losing my mind and becoming a a bot NPC. With just focusing on my lower chakras, only focus on what I can eat, who I can fuck, and what sounds good, what smells good, and what feels good, and basically becoming an animal. You know what I mean? Islam helps me remember discipline, lets me know who the black man is. You know what I mean? Shout out to, you know, Elijah Muhammad, and the whole NOI, knowing, letting me know the black man is God. We can do whatever we put our minds to. We have a real long history and we have a long future. Um, so I think Islam is a good thing, as well as any type of spirituality and knowledge of self that anybody practices. Whatever your discipline, whatever helps you remain disciplined, or at least remember to try to be disciplined. Because I fall, I do a lot of wild shit sometimes,
For
but
sure.
it always, that it's that remembrance of, okay, you kind of slipping now, so let's get back on track.
For sure. So question number 9. Our empire.
Our empire, that's my record label, is still right now it's pretty much just me. A lot of my homeboys kind of doing their own thing. um but our empire, I wanted it to be the next Rap a Lot, No Limit, the next AWOL, the next Ruthless Records. That's what it really is, Ruthless Empire, our empire. You know what I mean? It's got like two double meanings.
Gotcha.
It
Gotcha.
was just, my record label that I wanted to kind of pattern after what I saw No Limit do.
Understood. Yeah, so last one, man. What's next for Caution?
I don't know, man. I think I want to write a book. I either want to write a book. I'm not going to talk about the title and stuff right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to write a book. I think I'm gonna drop an album probably in 2020. 6 next year. I think I might do a project with my brother Keno the Champ, King Cut. Shout out to my brother King Cut. I think I'm gonna do a joint project with him, and I might do a solo album. But I'm not gonna do like I usually do. I usually do a lot of songs. I'm probably gonna do maybe like anywhere from 9 to 11 songs. Um, I had a homeboy when we supposed to be getting into film. He was gonna have me like in a movie, but he ain't got back at me. He just kind of get back at me and check with me on Instagram every now and then. But it's a lot of stuff I want to do, man. I just got to get around the right people. But I'm so used to working by myself. People look, they kind of expect me to just move along. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to work with people and do other things. Like I say, man, as far as entertainment, that's what I
Yeah,
want to
man.
do.
So, like I said, I definitely want you to come out to Vegas, man. When we get our space, man, and get the podcast space, and
Yeah,
really have a sit down, and then definitely do the music and all that. Get going. We gonna tap in on that.
man, I
But
might need to do an album with you, man.
yeah, man, we got to get the album. You already know we was gonna tap in. You already know I was gonna tap in on that. So I'm getting my music, my studio shit set back up myself. So so a nigga can start recording and getting all that going, man. But this was a dope interview, man. I appreciate you coming, man, and doing this shit, man. Being the first one, man. You the first of the preseason. We're gonna have 10 of these first ones on the preseason. So when we start the full season, like I said, when we get this podcast space, I definitely want you to slide out to Vegas and do that, bro. So, but yeah, y'all, man. Once again, we got Caution, aka Cream of the motherfucking crop. You know,
Yeah.
uh, 2RS. So what was your last project, man? And then let us know what they need to be looking for, man, as far as the music. Where and
My
where to.
my last project was Caution to the Wind. Caution to the Wind. My last two projects I actually did. it was kind of forced. You know, when you kind of depressed and going through things, but you still want to create to kind of get rid of that energy. But you know, it turned out pretty good. I got some positive feedback.
For sure.
Uh, you know, I had to push it myself. You can only go so far when you know. I mean, when
Yeah, yeah.
you're pushing everything yourself.
No, for sure. We
But
got to
yeah, that's
start
my last project.
getting on that market and advertising. More.
Yeah,
Paying for more promotion and advertising and all that, man. So,
yeah.
last thing, let the people know where they can find you, Instagram or whatever social media.
I'm on my Instagram is Caution Ruthless Soldier. My Facebook is Ruthless Real Soldier, and I deleted my TikTok. You know what I mean?
All good. And
Uh,
then I'm gonna get all that, and I'm gonna have that in the description when we post the video too, man. So,
okay.
yeah. So,
My
man,
YouTube,
appreciate
my YouTube is Caution of 2RS.
you. Got
Just
you.
type in Caution of 2RS, and a lot of my music and videos should pop up. I'm talking about different things. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Facts, facts. So yeah, man. This gonna go up on my YouTube page, and then it's also gonna go up on the TMI with TMI podcast page that we just started. So y'all look for that. Y'all definitely tap in with Caution, man, on the Facebook and the Instagram, man. And to the next video, it's K Mac. What the fuck?
All right.
Yeah, man. All right, my
I'm
dude.
gone.
You already know. Where you from, who you know, what you did on the clock. State the state, where you from, city, yes, section, sir. Block. Hey, y'all already know, man. We about to go live on the go live again for the UFC fights. You feel me? We just had to get it in. Got it in. Shit, man, 97 minutes. So, but we definitely gonna go live for the UFC fights. Let me refresh and chill for a minute, roll some more shit up, and we gonna get to it. Touch money, y'all. Touch money. Dead Tom came home, now you back on a mission. You was friends with that man that they always mention. Sit down, tell your story, take a minute to think. Because it's too much information, talk with touch money in. We was banging, we was slanging, did dirt, did clean, did spare no individuals hit the road with my team. We was out in the field, we was making it plays. You got blitz from the back, they came with choppers to blaze. You was balling on the court, scoring, giving assists. Catch you on the rebound, you end up on that list. TMI with TMI, gotta tell your story. Let them know how we go, how it's pain with the glory. Yeah, y'all. Who next up on the list, man? I gotta tap in with my peoples to see who's next on the list. We definitely got take notes up. We got the Cali King. We got my boy Duke Nukem. I know we got my boy Twin Contraband TV. So we definitely got them four coming up. And then soon we got the Fobo the Magnificent interview, but I'm sure we probably gonna get that one once we get into space because that's one that we want to really be big, But like I said, I definitely want to introduce y'all to my host, Take Notes, and the Cali King, So I want to get their interview out the way and let the world know about them, and then bring them on to my next interviews and shit, So y'all stay tuned in. I'm about to bring y'all this UFC fights. You feel me? It's K Mac. What the fuck?